We're going to talk about the dreaded two low boxes. Low right is low will, high skill. Low left is low skill, low will. Well, why do we need a system? We need a system because if we don't have a system, there's no way we're going to know where our people are compared to a neutral baseline. That's why we use the skill will system. People don't always have the right level of skill and will, whether they're new or tenured, and we have to have some type of baseline and system that we work against to ensure everybody's progressing in the right direction so we don't fall behind as leaders. Even with the best AI in their workflow, we still have to be very close to them as leaders and understand whether they're committed to running the business the right way, using the skills that we're providing them and the tools that we're providing them, and ensuring they progress continuously so we can compete in a highly competitive market. Now, we talked about everybody starting high left with high will and low skill. We want to continually move them to the right where we improve their skills over time based on our system so that we can all operate with the no-look pass. That's the excellent and most perfect scenario as everybody operates the same system using AI and different tools while running the business and continuously improving. We talked about high right being rarefied air and where our promotables are, but inevitably, even those that are in the high right, sometimes they fall into what we call high skill, low will. Something might be going on in their lives, and we got to stay close to them. That's what the system does because we're doing coaching and skill will on cadence, weekly, monthly, quarterly, in a formal way on repeat. Guess what? If we weren't doing that, we wouldn't know whether the leaders were leading or the contributors were leading and coaching, were degrading or falling into a low will scenario. Maybe there's a personal issue going on. Maybe we can help them recover from that. And we're going to assign some tasks or even do some one-on-ones and collaborate more closely so we can get a good feel for how we can help them recover. If we didn't have a system and we weren't working closely with them, it would seem inorganic or disingenuous for us to do that, which is why we got to run a system, skill will, on a regular basis, coaching them and developing them to continuously improve. And then if they fall into that low right, that's that low will, high skill category, we get a flag. We know something's not right, and we got to try to help them recover. If they don't respond, guess what that means? Potentially, they are quiet quitting. And what happens is they disconnect, they separate, and we wait and we wonder. The system helps us calibrate and understand what's going on from the normal baseline. If they slip into the low left, low skill, low will, they fall behind, they're almost irrecoverable. That's a really bad thing. Now, how do we know? We know because we're running the system. What do? Well, we got to do whatever our cultural standards require us to do based on performance. However, without the system, without skill, will, and the simple 4-box, without the 5 integral skill pillars that we're going to stay focused on, without the 5 operating principles that we're always interacting with our contributors and our leaders about, whether it's a one-on-one in a team meeting, whether it's a pipeline gen program, whether it's ops strategy, whether it's forecast calls, and whether it's QBRs that are forward-looking and strategic. If we're doing that on a regular basis with our teams and our leaders, we're going to know when something's wrong. That's the point, and that's what we know works. They rate themselves, we rate them, we get together and we calibrate and we tell the truth. Then we know whether people are plotting on the 4-box skill will system the right way for their future, for our future, for the companies and others that we serve. And why do we do it this way? We do it this way because we want to remain objective. We want to make sure we have a well-balanced team that is focused on the right things. We want to isolate skills proficiency and willingness, and we want to do it in an objective and balanced way so everybody feels included and everybody feels like they can improve. And if you're not running this system and your competitors are, you're going to be losing when you should be winning. So run skill will, 5x5x4, Skillibrium, let's go.